Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It was Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1 in the Premier League in a game that started off very, very, very exciting, basketball-like, and kind of ended up in a bit of a war of attrition in the end. I think Liverpool probably quite happy to come away with a point. Man City maybe a little bit annoyed. I think in the grand scheme of things and what we've seen, how these battles have played out, in recent years is that I think City will be annoyed that they've not taken all 3 points. 3 points at the Etihad has often been the 3 points that has decided where the title has gone. So we'll have to see how well that pans out for us as the season progresses. But we got your reactions to that game. There's a number of ways in which you can get them in. If you're a YouTube member, you can use the members only chat and fly some in there. If you want to tweet us at the Redmen TV, you can do that as well. But I'm going to do members, then Twitter, and then back to members again. So if you want to join up to membership there at any level, you can do, and then get your comment in. Just write Mate first, so I know you're talking to me, and I'll read the best of them out. In fact, I'll kick things off with Ryan Warren. He said Firmino was absolutely dreadful again, Jota invisible. Disagree. I don't think Firmino was dreadful. I think he was fine, and I think it's telling that I think we were worse for Firmino not being on the pitch. If I'm being honest, I think he actually lynched. I don't think he was great. I don't think it was a vintage Roberto Firmino performance. But I think I think we were worse in the second half for not having him on the pitch. I think the way the whole front three linked was lacking a bit of something. And for me, we were hoping, I think the idea was solid, to shuffle the pack a little bit and bring Shaqiri on was a good idea. Personally, I'd have moved Salah to the right and I've had Shaq and Jota through the middle for that point. I think that might have helped us a little bit. Although, to much credit to Jane Shaqiri for the work that he was doing. But the only counterpoint to that is we were very 4-4-2. Very, very 4-4-2 at times, particularly defensively. And I think we wanted to allow Mo Salah to kind of stay up front as much as possible. So I do get that. But yeah, the Firmino stuff, it's a shame. I don't think he was great. I think that chance that he takes on, I think he knows he's coming off, and I think he has one last wild pop to try and give himself a hero moment. I think the final ball was missing a lot, and he was as guilty of it as any of the front three, unfortunately. But yeah, Diogo Jota, look, I don't think he really suits being on the. I don't think he really suits being on the right-hand side, and I don't think he offered any more when he was playing through the central, so I do kind of agree with that. MJS LFC says, mate, I think we struggled to play out from the back after they adjusted and Alisson distribution was not up to usual standard. Yeah, and Matip as well, that's where sharpness counts. Matip came in, had a really good game today, I thought really, really good, considering he's not played since the derby. And I didn't even have minutes. It's not like he's played 10 minutes here to get him up to speed. Dropped straight into our hardest game of the season, and I thought he played well. But you could see in just a couple of those passes, and as well when you're looking to maybe take the game on, not having Trent and upsetting the balance in what you're doing there as an impact. But yeah, look, I think we dominated the first period of the game, and then City just decided to put more pressure on Gini in particular, and a couple of times Gini just got caught out in possession, which is a very Liverpool thing to do. It's a very counter-pressy thing to do, and they had a little bit of, I said joy. They didn't really have joy from it, because it's not like they crafted stuff from it particularly, but that did cause us a few hairy moments. So yeah, look, it was by and large, it was just good. I mean, I think if you wanted a 5-0 win from this, you're rightly disappointed, because, we didn't do enough to win 5-0. But again, I think you don't want to lose this game. You aim for you aim for a win, and if you get a draw, you're fine. It's like shooting for the moon and ending up in space. You're in space, boss. That's a crap analogy. But right, yeah, it was okay. Ryan won again. I just think Salah centrally struggled too. Jota and Firmino centre forwards could have been better, and I think that's something that we should definitely try with. I think because again, I don't think it was 4-2-3-1. I think it was 4-4-2, and it hampered Mane actually, because they got deeper and deeper, and we asked a lot of dirty work from Jota and Mane to come back and cover and help the fullbacks. And I don't think you want Salah doing that, which is why I think we went with the options that we went with, unfortunately. Roy Jenks says, mate, injuries showed today. We started to drop off, lost a bit of energy as the second half wore on. I don't think it was the defence. I think it was the midfield and City pressing well. Yeah, look, City are really good, aren't they? Really good at the old footy, Manchester City. The important thing is that they've not ran away from us, which is a really pivotal thing at this point of the season, because we've seen this game, the first Man City game, has decided, we haven't known it at the time, but it's decided most of the titles in recent years. Of course it hasn't, because you've got to go and win all the other games that you win afterwards. But think about back to us getting battered here when Mane gets sent off. We didn't know it, but Liverpool are never in the race after that game, and City absolutely run away with it. And subsequently, we've seen, us get the win with Fabinho, that kind of. So it's very important that we do that, I think. Yeah, I'll come back to the YouTube comments. If you want to sign up and be a YouTube member, you can do, and I'll get some more of them in a moment. I'm just going to fly over to Twitter very quickly. Dean Murray says, could have taken all 3 points had we been more clinical in the first half. Solid performance and a very respectable point away at Man City, up the Reds. Yeah, that. We were brilliant at the start of the game. If you get a goal there, and we did, look, we got the penalty, but if you add to it, I think in both halves we started brightly. And if you score in the first 10 minutes of either half, an actual open play goal, I think it does. It changes the complexion of the game. But it's telling that we were similar in this game after restart. Then City just got into gear and ran away with it. We didn't allow our balance to tip too far, and we've done that a bit when we've played the 4 lads up front. We've failed to strike a good midfield balance sometimes, and maybe leave ourselves. We've maybe struggled to find a little bit of a way through games. So I think we had a nice balance where we didn't overcommit, but we also were able to still cause them problems, which I think is a very it was good. I think the balance was largely okay, to be perfectly honest. Alex Gordon-Watson says a lot of tired legs out there. Robertson and Wijnaldum put in a great shift. Alisson was our best defender. Yeah, he's a sweeper keeper that allows you to play the way that you play, which is great. Austin Langdon, perfectly okay with a draw. Thought we were the better side in the first half, about even second, but a point at the Etihad is a good point. I absolutely agree with all of those points, mate. Yeah, spot on. I think we were all hoping for a bit more to kick on in that second half, and it didn't quite happen for us. But shit happens, and again, I think they're losing Trent psychologically as a point to prove. And also the problem is, you've got Keita on the bench there. I think our only other options meant a change in shape, and it meant taking off. By the time we'd made the subs we'd made, you're looking to take off. Maybe you take off someone and you go a bit more combative in midfield if you've got Milner as an option to bring on into the midfield, but you haven't because you've got to bring him on a fullback. There's some contributing factors there, I think. Sorry, that's Austin Langdon again. So great to point out. I nearly brought it up twice. Neil Bits Father says, didn't get battered even though we played 12 strikers. So I'm happy. Point away at City's a good result. Yeah, for a team that had so many attacking players on the pitch, I think we did okay. In Klopp we trust says, awful last 30 minutes, created nothing. I don't think it was awful. I don't. Look, again, we're away from home. We're away from home at the Etihad. I don't think a performance where you stop City from scoring a goal against you can be classed as an awful performance. I just don't think it is. It didn't work. I think, and I said there's fine margins, and I think at the moment the fine margins just didn't quite go our way. A couple of times when we get our toe to something, it bobbles and it bounces, and if it just rolls to a Liverpool player's feet, you're in. You need those things to go for you sometimes in these games, and we just fractionally didn't have it. But yeah, it was what it was. Gilly here saying, take it. Point gap with City still the same. Away point at City is always a good result. I think that's the most important point of this, really. Look, Leicester have started really well. Southampton have started really well. Liverpool aren't top of the league, but I don't think Liverpool are in it to be top of the league from now. It'd be nice to just be top for the rest of the season. It's about who you're playing, and it's about the points that you get in those games. And look, again, it balances out over the full course of a season. It leads into this comment from Craig Everton, which I think goes hand in hand. He says, no energy second half, take it though. 8 games played and already played Chelsea, Everton, Arsenal and City. That's massive. Like, particularly when you consider those games. So what? Chelsea away, Everton away, and City away in that run. I think that's right. There's 3 of our hardest games in the season out the way, and we're up and running. We're there, and when you take the points that we've taken already, the points that we've taken against Chelsea and Arsenal, I think are really important in that so far. Everton is always what it is, particularly Goodison Park, and we could have won that game quite easily as well. And then particularly refereeing decisions and what have you. And then Man City again. It's away from home. It's a good point, and we've got that out the way now. You've now got a good run of fixtures. That Atalanta City is our toughest back-to-back spell, with the exception of one of the Champions League games in the first week of December where we've got Wolves. That what we've done there bodes pretty well so far. Richard Brown's front four didn't work, outnumbered in midfield. Just picked Jota ahead of Bobby, and then Scott led Peter saying went downhill after Firmino went off. It's interesting that again. I tend to agree with the thing about Firmino. It didn't work. It didn't link as well without Bobby Firmino, and it didn't link brilliantly with him there. But Bobby actually got in behind a little bit more. I mean, look, he's there. He's central to the good things we do in the first half. And when he goes off, it isn't quite as fluid, I don't think. But right, we'll head over to the members chat. If you want to get your comments in, if the YouTube members here on YouTube, then please do. MJ once again saying, mate, it was a chess match where both sides didn't want to lose and both played cagey and not overcommitting plays forward. Yes, absolutely that. City are very aware of what Liverpool can do, and Liverpool were very set up to play on the counter-attack, but it's telling, even though we had some counter-attacking opportunities, they weren't like wide open Man City. They still had 2 and 3 guys squaring us up on the edge of the 18-yard box. We still needed to make one pass. It's not like, look at Salah's goal against Atalanta, look at Jota's goal against Atalanta, or Salah's chance that he misses. These are opportunities that it's wide open, and they allow themselves wide open because they're a bit naive in how they play football. City aren't like that anymore. Pep Guardiola has learned his lesson about how to play against Liverpool, so they didn't leave the door wide open as they have done in situations in the past. Megasting 1981 said, Major, definitely take the point on the balance of play. It was gritty, scrappy match with few chances, and we struggled with creativity up top. Yeah, all of those things, mate. And Kieran Orr saying, feel if we stick with this and Bobby starts getting informed, this can be a very good option going forward. I agree. Look, the point is, we're waiting for Thiago. We're waiting for Thiago to come back. I think we'll go back to 4-3-3 as soon as Thiago's back and available in this team. Like Trent being out might actually facilitate a change in this as well, but we'll see. Like there could be something daft where I actually wouldn't be against if you've got Thiago, maybe putting Jordan Henderson in Trent's position, just because he's got good delivery on him as well. But that might be a random one for another day. But I look, having that feather, in our cap, that string to our bow, I agree. I think it doesn't. That's the best that we've worked with those players in that side. But again, we adjusted the system. This wasn't 4-2-3-1. It was far more 4-4-2-ish in what we did. But yeah, it's encouraging. Look, all the talk is, in fact, there's a tweet that we've just seen that apparently Thiago and Fabinho are going to be back after the international break. Fingers crossed Trent is as well. Nothing to do about Virgil, unfortunately, at the moment, but if we can get those lads back in the team, I mean, I think we've done really well, considering, like, Thiago hasn't played for us, so it's hard to say that, but Fabinho was bought as a Man City destroyer, and not having him in that team, I think we performed pretty well, all told. And to come away with a point from the Etihad is a decent point, but we'll see over the full course of the season. If we can beat them at Anfield and take 4 points off Manchester City, that is more than you can ever hope to ask for domestically. And again, 4 points, 3 points was enough last season, but 4 points should be more than enough, I think, hopefully, to put a gap between us and City when we get to the business end of the season. But we'll see. Listen, thanks to everyone who's commented, for all our new YouTube members and to our existing YouTube members. If you are a club captain or club legend member, you get one bonus show every week, and this week it is the final word show. We're going to be doing 60 minutes on this match. It's going to be going out Monday afternoon. In fact, we do it live for YouTube members as well, so it's an extra live show for you. You also get the custom emotes that we've got that you can spam into all of our live shows. The more, the merrier as well, on all that stuff. If you want more content, go to the redmentv.com. Ross is going to be back very shortly with his player ratings. Then we'll be doing instant match reaction. But yeah, if you want more from us, do shout out to the redmentv.com. It supports everything we do, and you get loads of amazing extra content, whether you're into documentaries, if you want podcasts, if you want news, you want reviews, all that stuff. It is covered. Every aspect of Liverpool Football Club is covered in depth and detail by us and our wonderful Redmen TV team. Yes, just a reminder then one more time that we've got Redmen merch, Christmas merch is available right now. I'm rocking a Bobby Firmino one right now. It's wonderful stuff. Get yours while you can. First come, first served. Early bird gets the worm. Yeah, here's a little look at that. But thank you guys. I'll be back very, very soon.